Hi there, I'm Janeen from Club MojoCircle, and welcome to our discussion circle on being authentic. How do I do that? I look forward to sharing this presentation with you. Let's go. So our presentation today is on being authentic. How do I do that? It seems a really silly question. How do I be authentic? And it's like the question, well, just be yourself, or just be true to yourself, or just be your real self, just be real. And, you might ask the question, well, how hard can that be? How hard can it be to just be me? And the answer, you feel like the answer should be, well, easy. How hard? No, it shouldn't be hard. But it's not. It's not easy. And sometimes we don't even know who the real me is. Or who the real you is, or we may not even show that. So today we're going to look at some of the reasons why that being the real you can be a little more complicated than what you think it should be. So let's have a look at the first slide. Let's look at what authenticity actually is. And I love this description of it by Brené Brown. She does some fantastic TED Talks on authenticity and being authentic. And she's well worthwhile watching and listening to. So I'll read it out. Authenticity is not something we have or don't have. So it's not just a given. Interesting, really. But it's a practice, a constant choice of how we want to live. So it's something we are practicing and choosing to be every day. Again, that's interesting. What does that really mean? Authenticity is a collection of choices that we have to make every day. It's about the choice to show up and be real. The choice to be honest. And I think this is the last one is the biggest impact. The choice to let our true selves be seen. So we have to choose to show ourselves. We have to choose to be honest. And a lot of people go, yeah, I'm honest. I don't tell lies. I'm honest. Well, most of the time. But they may not necessarily be honestly themselves. So I love this. Here's another quote by Brené. Authenticity is the daily practice of letting go of who we think we're supposed to be and embracing who we are. So sometimes we get caught up in who we think we should be, who we think we need to be, who we think we're supposed to be, or who we think other people might want us to be, or who, like, if we could just be like that, then more people would like us. And we get caught up in that and we forget about who we really are, and we forget to be ourselves. So let's look at some of the reasons why we may not be authentic. So the first one, so out of these six, the top line are the ones that tend to be more in our conscious, more what we might be thinking about or consciously thinking about and aware of. The subconscious ones are often the ones that we're not aware of. There's something that we may not have thought about at all. But when we do personal and self-development, this is where we need to go. So look at the top ones. We might be lying about something to ourselves and to other people, denying it, or covering something up. So we might be living with something we feel we just possibly can't share or be honest about with the rest of the world. The second one, we want to be liked, so we try to please others. Now, that is such a common one. It's one that I did for many, many years. I would do so many things and try so hard to please other people. And all the time, what I was doing was putting a mask up in front of my face and not allowing people to see the real me, because I was too busy trying. You know, as soon as you're trying to do or be something, you can like bet your bottom dollar right there and then that you're not being authentic, because we don't have to try to be authentic. We just have to be. And the last one on the top is we feel we should be or do something. And that's come from our experiences growing up, our experiences with our family, with our school, with our society, with friends. You know, we've been influenced by so many different things that it's just kept putting layers and layers and layers on us. And it's like having a mask and just keeping on putting more makeup on. And so far, you know, the mask gets so clagged and so thick that we can't even see our skin underneath. I'll come back to that analogy in a minute. And then our subconscious ones. This is what we call our shadow self. So in personal development fields, we talk about our shadow self, and our shadow self tends to be the part of us that we don't like that much. The part of ourselves that we think we need to keep hidden because other people won't like it, or they wouldn't like that about me. And so if we have not resolved our shadow self, our past hurts or trauma, just like we were talking about earlier, then we've actually got scars inside, like whether it's in our mind, in our heart, in our gut as well. You know, we have three different brain centers or neurological centers, and they are in our brain, our heart, and our gut. I can talk more about them another time. So we need to deal with those. We need to accept that they are part of us. They are part of who we are and what has made us who we are today. And instead of trying to shut them out and ignore them and push them away and reject them and suppress them, we need to accept that that's who we are and welcome it with love. Because when we're trying to suppress our feelings in any way, it's like taking a blow-up beach ball to the beach. And have you ever tried holding that blow-up beach ball under the water? And we can hold it down, and it moves around, and we're sort of trying to hold it down, and it takes so much pressure and effort for us to hold it down. And then all of a sudden we'll just move slightly and it'll bounce out and go and bounce way out of the water. That's what happens with our emotions when we're trying to suppress them, especially those negative ones. So that's the first one. Then we have our adaptation masks. So that's what I was talking about before, the masks that we've learned to put on throughout our life. And we need to let go of those. And the last one, we are ego-driven. Now, these are very much related. This being ego-driven is very much related to these first two. Well, actually, all of the others are an effect of being ego-driven. Because our ego is the part of ourselves that wants to protect us. It wants to make sure we're safe and secure, and that we're doing everything, but it's not always in our best interests. And so we take notice of what our ego self is telling us, and it's not the best advice. or we just go with behavior because it feels right at the time without being conscious or aware of what we're actually doing, why we're doing it, and the effect it has on other people around us and on ourselves. So those are the reasons why we may not be our authentic and real self to the world. And, you know, as you can guess, they're not easily or quickly resolved. They take a lot of exploration, a lot of self-development, a lot of being prepared to look in that mirror and say, who am I? So the real betrayal is forgetting yourself, forgetting who you really are, and forgetting what the true you is. So authenticity requires, like absolutely requires, it is a criteria for us to know ourselves and to continually meet ourselves again and again as we transform our life. Because getting to know ourselves is like peeling an onion. We keep taking off layer after layer after layer. And I remember when I first started personal development over 20 years ago, and I did the first course, and it's like, oh, wow, I know so much more about myself now. Oh, I know so much. And then I did another personal development course. It's like, oh, wow, what I knew before was nothing. Look at what I've found out now. And then you get to a stage where you go, wow, this requires me to think a lot more. This requires me to change my behavior, to change my responses. And once we get to that stage, there's no going back. It's like, oh, can I just go back to when life was simple and I didn't have to think about all this stuff? No, you can't. Because once you get there, you become aware, you become conscious, and you got to deal with it. So it is a constant transformation throughout our life. It's a constant journey of growth. And I will be learning until the day I die, and maybe even beyond that if we believe in reincarnation and coming back. So authenticity, from what I've just, you might gather this from what I've just said, authenticity requires us to be vulnerable, be prepared to be transparent to ourselves and to other people, to really be seen, and to have integrity with our inner self, integrity with who we really want to be, with our higher values, as well as our core values, and with our emotions. So let's have a look at what being authentic requires. So we need to really know and understand ourselves. We need to be true to the whole soul self. So we have, I believe we have an inner self. It might be our soul self. It might be our inner knowledge. People also refer to it as our God self, depending on what your belief system is. But we are that inner person or inner soul. And we have a higher knowledge and knowing and understanding that comes from the universal source of light and energy and all-knowing. If you're religious, you might call that God. So it's about being true to who that soul really is. We need to be values driven, and that is our own values driven. Our higher values, our core values. We need to live our life according to those values. This is a big one. We have to accept that we are not perfect. We make mistakes. We are human. So we will make mistakes, and we have to be prepared to go, yeah, I made a mistake. I'm sorry. I will fix it. I will do what I can. But not try and cover it up. It's like, oh, I made a mistake. No, it wasn't me. Oh, no, no. Because that's not having integrity. So accepting our mistakes and doing the best we can with them is the way to be authentic. We need to be open and honest with vulnerability. So be prepared to be scared. Be prepared to be in a position and a place where someone could hurt you. But do that somewhere where you feel safe with people who aren't going to hurt you. And the last one, we need to be consistent and transparent with integrity. And what that means is that when we're consistent, we are living by our values all of the time. We're living in a way that is the same, is consistent every day. We might think of people who are like really moody, and you just never know what you're going to get from them. You know, one day you might get anger, another day you might get love and like, you know, you're the best thing since sliced bread. And usually they're being driven by pain from their past. They're being driven by something they feel they should be, and the anger comes out when they can't control it. And what we want to do is, when we get in touch with our emotions and we accept them, like that beach ball, they're not going to just pop up. And so we can be consistent with our moods. We can have emotional intelligence where we can manage our responses to stressful situations and to people who are emotional. And we don't have to react in the same sort of negative emotions as they do. So it's being consistent. It's allowing people to see us and having, you know, and doing all of that with integrity. The main reason for doing that is that when we are authentic, we actually it's like we put hooks out to other people for them to be able to hook with us and connect with us to create a deep and meaningful relationship, whatever level of that relationship it might be. And have you ever noticed have you ever noticed you've met someone and you've just gone like, no, I don't connect with them. And what you'll find is that those people probably are not being authentic. And you just don't feel that you want to connect because you feel the lack of honesty, the lack of integrity. And you might feel it more than they do. They may not even realize. But when we are real and honest and open up and go, yeah, I'm hurting and this is why. That's when people go, oh, wow, I didn't realize. And we just feel that emotional connection. So that's why being authentic is really important. And we will feel a lot better for it when we are authentic. And this last quote, and I'll read this out. So when you're truly authentic, just being yourself and truly honest with the world, something magical happens over time that can never be replaced. A genuine connection is made. A love and appreciation for who you truly are is established. And trust me, that's more valuable than any amount of likes or comments that a fake version of yourself could ever produce. Be true, be who you are, and don't settle for being anything other than that. You and everyone you come in contact with deserves it. So that's the end of the presentation part. And so now what we're going to do is a meditation. So I'll leave it on mute. And so I invite you to sit comfortably in your seat, lean back, relax, and close your eyes. And focus on your breath. Your breath coming in through the nose and the coolness of that breath coming in. And now your breath going out through your nose and the warmth on your lip just below your nose from that breath. And now take a big, deep breath in, so big that it pushes out your stomach. Hold it for a couple of seconds and then release it with a big out breath. Now take another big, deep breath in. Hold it. And then let it go with a big sigh, because that helps you relax. And now one last big deep breath in. And feel the breath going throughout your body to relax you. And out again with a sigh. Now let your breath just return to normal, so you don't have to think about it. And let's look at your body, and where might you be holding any stress or tightness in your body. We start at the head. Is there any tightness in your head, the back of your head, down in your neck? Is that feeling tight to you? In your shoulders, in your chest, in your abdomen, in your gut, in your buttocks, in your legs, your thighs, your calves, your feet, down your arms and to your hands. And if you found any tightness, take a moment now to breathe in to that spot or spots in your body. Breathe this relaxing breath into the tight spots and tell them it's okay. They can release now. Release and relax. And now we're going to go into our chakras. We're going to start at the heart chakra. And we need to open that because we want to look at our true self. And then go up to our neck, our throat chakra. And we open that because we want to talk and be true to ourselves in the way we talk to ourselves and say what's real. And then to our third eye chakra. And we want to open that because we want to see our true self for who we really are. And we want to open up our intuition for the messages that will give us, because our intuition always gives us the best and most honest messages. Now into our crown chakra. And we open that up because above our crown chakra is a beautiful white light. And this white light is shining down on us. And it is warm and it's healing and it's loving. And it's shining down through our heart chakra, down through our body, through our throat chakra, through our heart chakra. And it's enveloping those chakras with love. It's surrounding them all with love and healing and warmth. And now the white light is continuing through the rest of our chakras, down to our base chakra, and then down through our legs and into the earth. And it's grounding us with strength and resilience and ability to cope with everything. And then it's bringing all of that strength back up through our body, through our legs, through our gut, around our heart again, adding strength to our heart, to our ability to love and love ourselves, to our throat chakra and our ability to say what's true for us, to our third eye and our ability to see what's true. And just feel that beautiful white light coursing through your body now. And now take a moment to think about what we've discussed today. Think about those questions. Are you true to yourself? Are you true to the real you? Or are you wearing masks and protecting the real you from being seen by yourself or by others? And think about those masks. Where have they come from? Maybe just choose one mask that comes to you now. And think, where has it come from? When did it start? When did you put that mask on in your life? How old were you? What happened to cause you to put the mask on? And how did that mask help you adapt in your life to be able to cope with what was happening, to deal with it, to manage it? And I'll leave you in silence for a moment, for a few moments, to let that come to you and see what you can see. See what your third eye, what messages it gives you. And now I invite you to take that mask, take it off your face or the front of you, but wrap it in the love from the white light. Accept that the reasons you made that choice were right for you at the time. But if it's not helping you now, then let it go. And throw it away out into the ether, to the universe, where it can just disappear in a puff of smoke. And now take a moment to choose, how will you behave differently without that mask? What will you choose to do that is more authentic to you? How will you choose to behave each day in an authentic way with integrity? And then come back to feeling the white light, the love, the warmth, the healing that surrounds your heart, your throat, and your third eye right now. And you can keep that white light with you. And any time you might think of that mask again, you can remember this white light and how you made the choice to heal yourself using the white light and let go of that particular mask. And then bring your focus back to your breath. Breathing in and out. And then bring your awareness back to the room that you're in, to the seat you're sitting on, to what's around you, to my voice. And when you're ready, open up your eyes and come back to this presentation. So we'll have a talk about that presentation in a moment, and I'll just finish off with just saying that if anyone would like any coaching in any of this, or in letting go of your masks, or you'd like to explore yourself a bit more, then you're welcome to contact me at MojoCircle.com, or you can find me. I'm pretty easy to find when you Google Janeen Sonsi if you spell it correctly. So thank you for being here with me for this presentation. And please leave any comments or questions below, and I'd love to hear from you.